There's a version of Oprah Winfrey that America knows by heart. She's the woman who built an empire from nothing. The girl from rural Mississippi who became the most powerful figure in media. The voice millions of people turn to when the world feels too heavy. The woman who stood on a stage in a white suit and told America to wake up. That Oprah is real. Nobody's taking that away. But there's another version, one that doesn't get talked about. One that lives in old letters, archived interviews, and photographs that the internet never quite forgets. And when Joe Rogan lined it all up, out loud on one of the most listened to shows in the world, something shifted. Because once you see it, you really can't unsee it. Let's go back to 1988. Donald Trump walks onto the Oprah Winfrey Show, and the energy in that studio is electric. Not hostile, not cautious, electric. In the way you feel when someone genuinely famous and genuinely powerful walks into a room. Oprah leans in. She tells Trump that when he walked into a high-profile New York event, he got the loudest applause of any celebrity there. She describes the crowd rising to their feet. She looks at him with real fascination and asks the question that, in hindsight, sounds almost prophetic. What is this fascination people have with you? In that same conversation, Oprah gently nudges him toward the idea of running for president. Trump brushes it off, but leaves the door open. That interview isn't buried or hidden. It lives on the Oprah Winfrey Network's own YouTube channel, uploaded by her own team. She described the man as a folk hero on her own stage, in her own words. Now move forward to the year 2000. Trump, then considering a presidential run under the Reform Party, writes a book called The America We Deserve. In it, he names his dream pick for vice president. Not a senator, not a general. Oprah Winfrey. He calls her enormously successful, a major cultural influence, a remarkably successful businesswoman who has inspired millions of women to improve their lives and take responsibility for themselves. Oprah reads it, and she writes back. On her personal letterhead, the kind that simply reads Oprah, because when you're Oprah, one word is enough. She tells him his words made her a little weepy. That it's one thing to try to live a life of integrity. It's quite another to have someone like Donald Trump actually notice. And then she closes the letter with a line that hits very differently now than it did then. Too bad we're not running for office.
Like your bit about Puffy.
How you're going to connect these two fucking dots?
That bit is like, look.
What a team. That letter sat in Trump's personal files for over 20 years. It never surfaced during the 2008 election. It never came out during Trump's 2016 campaign. It only became public in 2023 when Trump published a book called Letters to Trump. When Oprah was asked about it on CBS Mornings, her response was almost breezy. She said she's always been someone who liked to write nice notes. She said she might have thought it back then, 23 years ago. And then she moved on, the way you move on from something small and forgettable. Except a letter on your personal letterhead, enthusiastically endorsing a joint run for the White House, isn't a thank you card. It never was. Fast forward to August 2024. Oprah Winfrey takes the stage at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. The crowd erupts. She delivers a speech about divisive rhetoric, about ridiculous tweets and lies and foolery, about income inequality and standing up to life's bullies. She calls herself a proud independent who will vote again and again and again against Donald Trump. Joe Rogan was watching, and Rogan wasn't buying it. On the Joe Rogan Experience, he laid it out plainly. He talked about the 1988 interview. He talked about the letter. He talked about how Oprah was the one who once openly floated the idea of running alongside Trump. And now, here she was at the DNC, painting him as an existential threat to democracy. His exact words, how about Oprah? Oprah was talking about her and Trump running together, and now she's speaking at the DNC that he's a threat to democracy, and she's up there talking about income inequality. Like, hey lady, you're rich as hell. How is that equal? It landed hard. Because it wasn't speculation. It wasn't gossip. It was a documented timeline, 1988, 2000, 2024, laid out in sequence without the spin. The inconsistency wasn't subtle. It was a canyon. In October 2024, Rogan sat down with Trump himself for nearly 3 hours. And one of the first threads they pulled was this exact pattern. The celebrities who once loved Trump then vanished the moment he became politically inconvenient. Trump had already written about it. Once he announced his presidential run, Oprah never spoke to him again. No phone call, no explanation, no conversation, just silence. From the same woman who had told him in writing that they would make a great team. Rogan's point wasn't that Oprah changed her mind. People change their minds. His point was that the change was never honest. It was never explained. It was repackaged as a moral awakening, presented as principle, when the documented record told a completely different story. The warmth was real when Trump was a celebrity. The silence was strategic when he became a candidate. And the attacks only came when it was culturally safe and publicly rewarded to deliver them. That distinction matters a lot. And then there's the part of this story that has nothing to do with politics at all. Harvey Weinstein was one of the most powerful men in Hollywood for decades. He was also, as the world eventually learned, a serial predator who used his influence to abuse women throughout his career.
You don't have any real personal beef with Diddy, but it's got to go down. The bits are there. I'm a gold miner. I just found some gold.
You're right. Maybe I'm a sociopath.
It's not that you're a sociopath. It's just that that's part of the game.
When the scandal broke in 2017, the industry scrambled to distance itself. Oprah was among those who spoke out. She said, "If we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment." It sounded expansive, like she was trying to broaden the conversation beyond one man toward the deeper systemic rot in Hollywood. But here's what that framing quietly sidestepped. Weinstein wasn't a distant acquaintance. He was a close friend, publicly photographed, well-documented, years of proximal details. This is the pattern Joe Rogan exposed. Not a single incident, not a letter in isolation or one awkward speech. A pattern of a carefully constructed public image that doesn't match what the private record actually shows. The Oprah that America has trusted for decades is the woman on that stage. The one in the white suit. The one who built an empire on empathy and told millions of people they deserve to be seen and heard and protected. That person is real, but so is the other one. The one who wrote "What a Team" on her personal letterhead. The one who called Trump a folk hero in 1988 and never publicly acknowledged that history when she attacked him in 2024. The one who maintained a close, documented, publicly visible friendship with Harvey Weinstein for years, and then tried to make his scandal about something larger the moment his crimes became impossible to defend. Joe Rogan didn't manufacture any of this. The 1988 interview is on Oprah's own YouTube channel. The 2000 letter was confirmed by Oprah herself. The Weinstein friendship is documented in years of photographs and public appearances. All Rogan did was line it up, in order, without the spin. And once millions of people heard it that way, laid out flat without the carefully managed press response, the story that was never supposed to surface became impossible to ignore. The paper trail exists. It always existed. It just needed someone willing to follow it all the way to the end.